What's going on, Unfazed crew? So it's a super windy day today. I apologize if the audio is crappy or loud. I put a little cover on the microphone, a little wind shield. So we'll see if that works. But if not, my apologies. So today I want to do a little walk and talk and bring back kind of the dating horror stories style of content. So the video I want to talk about today is ignoring red flags because she's hot. Ignoring red flags because she's hot. This is something I absolutely 100% have done myself, something I've done recently. That's why I want to talk about it. And something that I'm sure most guys have done at some point. You've probably done it. Heck, you could be doing it right now. But I think women do it with men as well. But I want to talk about right now, just from my perspective, guys ignoring girls' red flags because they're hot. So recently, I met a girl at a bar, and she was very attractive. Kind of had a Gwen Stefani vibe going on, which I liked. I liked quite a bit. And I would say within 3 to 5 minutes, I picked up on the crazy vibe. You know, after a while, you date enough, you meet enough people, you kind of get this radar for detecting crazies. And I'm quite good at it. So I'd say, 3 to 5 minutes, started picking up on kind of the crazy chick vibe. And you know what I did? I said, well, she's got a rockin' body. Let's see what happens. So I kept engaging, kept talking, kept seeing what happened, kept flirting. But I knew, like I said, 3 to 5 minutes, right off the bat, you can almost smell it. You can sense it. I was like, this probably isn't the best idea. So yeah, I continued talking to this chick. Fun conversation, had a few drinks. Should have gone with my gut, because as the night progressed, she started getting more flirtatious. We made out a little bit, started getting kind of romantic. But then at one point, I'd say about, 2 hours into the night, a flip switched. I think she got a little too drunk. Her true colors really started to show. Crazy came out. And she started getting really aggressive. So like, we made out a little bit on the patio at this bar, and she bit my arm really freaking hard. Like, it was unacceptable. Like, super intense. And I was like, whoa, hey, like, I don't like that, you know? Like, don't do that. And then she kept pushing me. She kept doing this thing where she kept pushing me. I'm like, hey, like, stop. Like, I was like very serious with her. I'm like, I'm not into that. Don't do that. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, a little roughness is okay. Not in public. Like, you know, once you're established and it's behind closed doors or whatever, perhaps. But that level, right off the bat in a public place, no, absolutely not. And she took it a step further after the bite and after the pushing. And like, she was like trying to be sexy and playful, but it was like over the top. You know what I mean? There's definitely a difference. There's definitely a line that gets crossed. And she kept asking me to hit her in the bar. We're in like a crowded bar. And she's like, slap me. And I'm like, no. She's like, slap my face. I'm like, absolutely not. We're not doing that at a crowded bar. I wouldn't even want to do that to her, you know, alone. It's like, I don't want to hit a woman, you know? And although she probably deserved it. But I'm not about that. I'm not going to hit a chick. And she started asking me, she's like, well, what, are you gay? I'm like, no, I'm not gay. I'm like, I just don't want to hit you, especially not in a public place. And she started getting more and more progressively aggressive. Very aggressive. And it got past the point of being fun or being jokey. And I realized she was just fucking nuts. Like, this chick was just a few beers shy of a six-pack. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, I cut my losses and I left. I got to a point where she was getting way too fucking wacky, way too weird, way too aggressive. And, yeah, I was like, I gotta go. So I left. And I think that was the right move. I think sometimes you get in those situations, you just gotta cut your losses and get the hell out of there and get away from crazy. But had I gone with my initial instincts, sorry about the wind, I would have avoided that completely. If I would have trusted my spidey senses and been like, oh, this chick's wacky, I'm gonna get out of here. But I stuck around because she had a rockin' body. She was super hot. Nice boobs, nice ass, pretty face. She was giving me attention. That's the number one pitfall for guys. Pretty girl talks to you, right? Suddenly that's a qualifier. And yeah, I should have just walked early on. But lesson learned. Sometimes you need a little refresher. Need a little reminder that the crazies are out there in full force at the bars. But yeah, I had fun for the first half of the night. But then it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, just yeah, crazy, just totally crazy. Anyway, so yeah, that kind of led me to thinking about all these concessions that we make for people because they're hot. So it's like you have a hot girl, she starts acting wacky, you give her a pass because she's hot, because you want to bang her, right? Then another thing happens. You're like, well, let's stick it out a little bit longer because she's hot, right? And I think that's just bad. That's something we should really stop doing as guys. And even if you're a female watching this, yeah, don't do that to anyone. Don't give them too many passes just because you're attracted to them. Like, hot is hot and crazy is crazy. You know what I mean? And sometimes crazy people come in pretty packages. A lot of times they come in pretty packages. So just be careful. Set boundaries. And if things get a little too weird, get the fuck out of there. There's plenty of other fish in the sea. I was talking to my buddy. Should I keep him anonymous? Nah, I was talking to my buddy Alan. Shout out to Alan Himmis. And he was telling me he had a similar situation, although his was a bit more intense, believe it or not, just a couple weeks ago over in Florida. He's living out in Florida right now. And he met a chick. They'd been going out for a bit. Not too many times, talking like 3 times, right? And she ended up being crazy as shit. Alan, I hope you don't mind me telling this story. But even if you do, too bad, I'm gonna tell the story. She ended up being crazy as fuck. Same thing, super aggressive. She ended up getting into a fight at a bar out there and almost got him involved. And then she ended up hitting him when he tried to console her later in the night. She started physically hitting him, punching him at this bar. And he's like, what the hell? So there's way too many chicks out there that are way, way, way too comfortable hitting guys. Here in Phoenix, and apparently out in Florida, it's slim pickings, man. And maybe that's just because it's at the bars. That could be it. The girls at the bars are kind of shitty, kind of shitty, crazy people. But I'm sure there's great girls out there, but it just seems like there's a very, very heavy concentration of crazies around here. And maybe I'm just lucky. Maybe I just attract crazy. It seems like I attract crazy a lot. But I don't know. Comment below if you guys are experiencing this. I know a lot of you say, well, it's because you're going to bars, right? Okay, but I mean, I'm sure normal girls occasionally go to bars too, right? You'd think, but guess not. Lately, it seems like just the crazies are out in full force. So it's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating, very scary. It makes me think, man, are there any normal chicks out there in the world, or are they all fucking insane, I don't know. Very frustrating. Seems like a lot of girls I meet, especially out in the wild like that, kind of have a screw loose. They're a little wacky. And it seems like the really desirable, level-headed ones are all married or in very serious relationships. Or the really cool chicks have kids and have already, been through many relationships and, baby daddies and all that. And personally, I don't really want to get involved with that. But to each their own. No disrespect. But, yeah, it seems like the level-headed chicks have kids and have a lot of baggage, or the single free-spirited ones are fucking insane. So I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Let me know. Comment below. But yeah, so what do we do about this? What's the answer about making concessions for hotties, right? I would say number 1, don't. But I know you're going to. I would say the number one thing to do is to trust your gut. I would say if right off the bat, if something doesn't feel right, if you get a little alarm going off in your mind when you're around her initially, trust that little feeling, trust those instincts, because we have those hardwired in us and programmed for a reason. It's like a self-defense, like a defense mechanism, you know? So trust your gut. Rule number one, trust your gut, because I should have trusted my gut, but I ignored it because she had a rockin' body. I was like, oh, she's hot. She kind of looks like Gwen Stefani. We're having some beers, having a good time. Let's see what happens. And sure as shit, she ended up being completely insane. And when I left, when I told her goodnight and I left abruptly because she was being insane, she sent me like a barrage of very hateful texts. She's like, I hate you, you're a douchebag. And then she started just babbling all this incoherent shit. I didn't respond. Sorry, it's really windy. I'm apologizing for Mother Nature on her behalf, because she's also psychotic and bipolar, Mother Nature. But yeah, I didn't even respond. I just blocked her. I was like, I don't need a biatch like that contacting me. So yeah, got out of there. But yeah, rule number one, trust your gut. If something seems off, it probably is. So rule number two, this is a big red flag that I don't see a lot of people talking about, but I've encountered, and my buddy Alan has encountered quite a few times. And I'm gonna go this way because there's really loud kids over on the fucking field over there. But another thing to be aware of that I've noticed quite a few times, my buddy Alan has commented on quite a few times, and maybe some of you guys have encountered this as well. Girls who party at bars with their moms, girls who like go clubbing with their moms, huge red flag. Avoid these chicks like the plague. Now, hear me out. Hanging out with your parents is fine. Having quality time, going out, getting dinner, going to concerts, going to movies, even having a couple beers at a local pub with your family. Okay, that's fine, cool. I encourage it. But adult chicks who go out with their divorced MILF mothers, and it's kind of redundant, MILF mother, but you know what I'm saying. They're divorced MILFs and their daughters, and they go out together to the bars and clubs with the intent of meeting guys and like partying together. Those girls are walking red flags. Stay away from them. It's just weird. It's just weird. At some point, the mom's gonna be getting hit on by a guy, and then at some point, if you're talking to the daughter, she's gonna come over and it's gonna be weird. Could escalate very quickly. It's just, stay away from those chicks. They're freaks. Stay away from them. Yeah, girls that go clubbing with their moms, big no-no. Third thing I want to say, party girls. Party girls. They're fun. They're fun in the short term. They're fun if you're having a casual fling with them, a casual hangout, whatever. But party girls are not girlfriend material. And party girls also are not wife material. Don't wife up a party girl. You're making a mistake. Old habits die hard. Now, I know some girls out there can change their ways. I know it's possible. But it's unlikely. It's unlikely for sure. So I would say if you have party girls in your life, keep their number, hang out with them once in a while, have your fun, but be careful. I'd say don't get into a long-term relationship, an LTR, with a party girl. Definitely don't marry a party girl. And think of it like this. Think of it like you're going to buy a car, right? Let's say you're in the market for a nice used car. You're going to want to get the car that's been garaged and kept up on its maintenance and just driven to the church and driven to school and back. And it's like in really good condition. You don't want the beat up, overused rental car with 300,000 miles that's been ridden long and hard and beat to shit. You don't want that. If you're going to invest in a vehicle for yourself, for your family to ride in, to invest your money into, to trust, to get you from point A to point B, you're not going to want the beat up rental car. That's all I'm saying. And the party girl is like the rental car. Makes sense? They can be fun, especially on vacation, and very convenient. But you don't want it to be your daily commuter. Know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Well, I hope I hope that made sense. But yeah. So all in all, making concessions for girls because they're hot, just don't do it. And you know, if you try to hold them accountable, a lot of people have talked about this. Jaron Scott has talked about this. Rich Cooper's talked about this. You can't really do it. You know, it's like shouting at a brick wall. There's really no point. So you can't waste your time trying to hold them accountable. But what you can do is protect yourself by just not getting involved in the first place. If you see a hottie and you realize that, hey, this girl's kind of crazy, or you go out a few times, usually on the first date, you know, you say, there's something a little off with this girl. She's a little zany. Just cut your losses. There are, hopefully, other girls out there that are just as hot, if not hotter, that are level-headed and cool and collected and halfway sane. Try to find those girls, because there seems to be an awful lot of hot crazy out there, definitely. So I don't know what to tell you guys in terms of finding the normal ones, because I'm having zero luck with that myself. But hopefully they're out there. I'm sure they're out there. They're probably sane, unfazed chick viewers out there, I'm sure. But they seem to be few and far between where I'm at. Definitely. This wind is obnoxious. I'm gonna wait. Alright, closing thoughts. Don't stick it in crazy. Whatever you do, don't stick it in crazy. But who am I kidding? You probably already have. You might be sticking it in crazy tonight, for all I know. But all I can say is if you can avoid it, try not to stick it in crazy. That's all I'm saying. Let's do a recap on my 3 rules. Number 1, go with your gut. If your instincts are telling you that something's wrong with her, cut your losses and get out of there. You're probably correct. Trust your gut. Number 2, if she parties with her mom and goes clubbing with her mom, don't waste your time. She's insane. Those chicks are just weird. They're problematic. Number 3, don't get into a long-term relationship with a party girl if you can avoid it. Go for that nice, garaged, well-kept, well-maintained car. Don't go for the beat-up rental car. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this rant. I apologize for the wind. It was very, very intense. Kind of fun ranting about something relationship-oriented. If you guys would like more content like this, comment below. Let me know. Let me know if you like it. And if you have other conversation topics kind of like this that you'd like me to talk about, drop them below. Maybe I'll make a video about your topic in the future. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate all of you. Like, subscribe, and most importantly, don't stick it in crazy. And remain unfazed. Thanks for watching.